welcome back to Crazy Dave's Kitchen. All right, this is a product review from a company called TOZO. They're earbuds that are supposed to give the Apple AirPods a run for its money. They're pretty comparable. I'm going to go into a description with you from what I got on Amazon. It kind of gives you the different ideas about it and what the product's capable of doing. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about that. Then we're going to go ahead and open this box up. I'm going to add it to my phone, and let's see what this baby can do. All right, so here's a close-up on the box. It's nice, packaged well. Kind of gives you the description here. And then on the back, it gives you some of the ideas, or I should say some of the product specification. I don't know why I'm saying the word idea. But it talks about the actual product itself, okay? This is, all the sides on it. Talks about it. And you see it's beautifully packed, nice small box. Kind of reminds me of the box for the Apple AirPods. Now we're going to go ahead and open this up. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a small little knife here. We're going to open this box up, and we're going to see what this is all about. Okay. So let's go ahead and undo the packaging here. There we go. Got my hands zoomed in here. All right. Now I just got to figure out, let's see how to open it. Okay. So it's not quite like an Apple box. You got to kind of just open it up a little bit there. And now let's see what happens. Oh, you know what? Cool. It's got a little tab. So when you pull it open, you just slide it out. Okay. Let's see what the box has in it. The box has, looks like a couple pieces of paper here. I got a quick guide. We got the user manual. I got another little card, looks like. All right, let's see. Talks about the Amazon app, if you want to use that, called Transparency. They do give you a little card, talks about 7/24/7 live chat support. That's great. Also a customer service email. But that is that. Looks like in the box, I've got, looks like in this little bag right here, that is going to be your earbuds or your ear tips. You've got a charging cable. And we actually got the earbuds themselves. Let's go ahead and get the earbuds out of the box. There we go. Put that off to the side. Got a kind of cool case. It's small. I like that. Again, it reminds me kind of the AirPod case. Opens up like it. Ooh, look at that. Nice little digital display. Tells you the battery percentage. I like that immediately. And they, honestly, let's pull them out of the thing. Let's see. And to me, they look kind of like an AirPod. I like the fact being that it has this little yellow thing on it. Let's see if we can get close on it. And it says, please remove prior to use. So that tells you that these are nice and clean and ready to go. Look at that. These look pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and read the manual real quick. We're gonna figure out how to get this thing connected to my phone, and we'll go from there. And look, boom. I mean, I love how they fit, how it looks, the design. I automatically know my charging status. Don't know what else the screen can do. Like maybe the case has to be open. Let's see. Now it says 97. Nothing yet. But again, I got to read the manual first. That'd be quite helpful. All right, guys. Now it's time to see if we can pair this to my phone. So you'll see I got a lot of Bluetooth devices here. It is searching. We are going to first open up the case. It'll tell us 96%. And what's cool, I just now noticed it. It gives you your left earbud and your right earbud. We're going to go ahead and remove them both from the case and put them off to the side. And now we're going to wait to see if the phone actually connects to the Bluetooth. All right, one thing I noticed is it wasn't connecting to my phone right away. So what you have on the bottom of your device is this little tiny like round button here. The good thing is you don't need a paper clip for it. Just press that button real quick, and then automatically it will show up on your phone. You'll see right here it said TOZO NC20. and then you click on it and it says connected. So now it's time for me to play with these, see what they can do, what they cannot do, and give you my honest review. All right, guys, one of the things I noticed is I didn't like the owner's manual because the text is real small, but as you get older, you start losing your ability to read small objects. But one of the things I did notice is that when I went to the App Store, I typed in TOZO because I remember seeing something that mentioned the app. Now, there is no QR code on the packaging that mentions to the app, but I did find an app on the App Store. Now, once you download it, it's going to ask you to register. Don't worry about it. It's setting up a personal interface for you. So you're going to have an email. You're going to put a passcode in, and then it's going to ask you something about a membership. You get some kind of premium deal. Didn't mention anything about making a payment on that. Okay, but one of the things I noticed is a feature called Ear Tune. I haven't done this yet, but this right here caught my attention. Let me see if I can take it on my personal phone here to the camera, and it talks about. Let me hit OK here. Right there, you probably can't read it that well. There we go. It says the ear tune compensates for individual sound perception using the AI. I always say that word, algorithms. Okay, and it wants me to do a test. That's kind of cool because it tunes the earbuds to your hearing. So let me go ahead and off camera. I'm going to do the test here and let you know what happens. All right, before I go off camera, I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff. It talks about the purpose of the hearing test, and it says, it ensures the user's sensitivity to the sound, it compensates for sound intensity, and protects hearing and sensitive frequencies. So we're just going to go ahead and hit OK here. And now we're going to go back to where it says test. This is kind of cool. It asks you for your age here, okay? So I'm going to put in I'm an old guy. Now, it talks about male or female. I do apologize in advance if you are non-binary, but you do have to pick male or female. Again, I do apologize. I'm not the creator of this app, but I am a male, so I'm just going to hit next here. And now it's asking me to set or adjust the volume to a proper level, okay? Because right now I have these things on high because I was testing out how good the bass was. Now, let's go ahead and bring that volume down here. Let's see if I can bring it here. Let's see, set proper volume. Oh, there we go. And now it says hit next. Let's hit next here. It asks me if I would like to access the microphone. I'm going to hit allow. Okay, now what that's doing, if you don't notice, is this asked me to be in a silent environment because it wanted to detect my ambient noise. So I'm going to go ahead and not sing anything right now. Then I'm going to hit next because as you can see, as I'm talking, even though I'm a distance from the phone, the dB readings keep spiking. So let's go ahead and go into a quiet mode here, and then we'll hit next. Okay, now it's asking me, do I want to test the testing now? So again, make sure you're in a quiet environment, no background noises, nobody yelling in the background saying, hey, what's going on? But that's a normal household. So again, you want to make sure you're quiet, and we're going to hit start. Now it's asking me, can I hear that sound? Now I'm not hearing anything, okay, but I do wear hearing aids. So I'm going to hit no. It's asking me again, can I hear a sound? I'm going to hit no. I'm not hearing anything on this thing. Okay, so right there I'm hearing a very slight tone, so I'm going to hit yes. And I'm very, very minimal hearing that, so I'm going to hit yes again. I'm not hearing anything on that one. And I can barely hear something here. It kind of reminds me of doing the hearing test at the doctor's office. So you just want to keep going through these different choices. Honestly, it's exactly like a doctor's office. You got to hit that little push button every time you hear something. Thing's crazy. It makes me wonder if it's just like kind of like that new technology with the AirPod, I guess 4. That do you have to do the same thing? I'm not sure. But it's throwing different frequencies at me. Man, my hearing really sucks, doesn't it? But that's why I wear hearing aids, guys. Still nothing there. And now it tells me to go ahead and hit next or submit. That's my data, just my personal hearing test. And it gives you your hearing results. That's kind of cool, okay? So if you are curious if you should see an ear doctor, an ENT, or get an audiology report done, you might want to send this in to him, even though it may not be a professional. But we're going to go ahead and hit save here. It's going to ask me to put a name. I'll leave it as new name, no big deal. I'll hit save. And it's asking me, it's telling me actually I have to type in a name. So I'm just going to type in Dave. And I'll hit close, we'll hit save. And now it went back to this, okay? Now, it's giving me all the ear tune and asking me if I want to restart the test, no big deal. Let's go ahead and click on this little button right here. Let's bring this phone a little bit closer to you guys. You'll see what says active NC. I don't know what that is, but let's take a look. Oh, this is kind of cool. It tells me each one of my earbuds settings, whether I'm going to go left here, right ear, talking about noise cancellation. There's a transparency mode, a windproof mode. That's interesting. Leisure mode, normal mode, adaptive mode, and nothing else. Okay, that's kind of cool here. Now, check this out, EQ. It's saying that it has multiple EQ settings in here. And you got EQ zone, advanced EQ, and sound effects. Let's take a look here, what EQ zone does for me. And I guess these are ideas or something that maybe the community submitted here. That's what it looks like, because as I scroll through, it's giving me recommended settings based upon other users. So it's kind of a community thing. There's a setting called My IQ, nothing yet. And then you have to get created by me. This is something where you can actually create your own EQ zones, okay? And again, let's see. Okay, so now when I clicked on the actual EQ, it's asking me what I want to do. What I want to do, custom, bass. It's got 32 different settings that you can go in here. So you got relaxing, you got crazy, awake, country music. You've got your podcast, slow rock, piano, electronic, rock. A lot of times people will use the rock settings. Believe it or not, in the auto industry, the one that is best for audio overall, back when I was working in the studios, we would use the classical settings, and that's what we use for the baseline of a lot of our music settings, because that will give you what we would do to test our speakers is use the classical settings. Okay, so there's the custom setting. We're going to go ahead and hit the little arrow. And the last thing I want to check out here is the sound mode. Now, it has ordinary sound mode and it has the Spadio. And I'm going to go ahead and hit click Spadio. It's asking me after enable Spadio mode, the EQ will automatically be switched to standard. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. That's fine for me. And that looks kind of cool here, okay? Now, let's see what the setting here. Setting talks about, do I want a low battery warning? Of course I do. It says wear detection. The earbuds may stop playing music when they detect that they're not being worn. Absolutely, saves your battery type. Dual device connections, that's if you want to use multiple devices. I'm not going to use that. The LDAC, it says it's only supported of Android phones, so we're going to turn that one off. Here's one for you. Check this out. OTA update. So these things are automatically updating, kind of like the AirPods. We're going to go ahead and hit update. We're going to hit confirm. We're going to go ahead and update that format for us. And check that out. It says upgrading right now. What I like too is way at the top here, it talks about the firmware model, the device name, your MAC address, and your ID number. So you know that these are in fact your earbuds. Now check that out. It still says updating, okay? And right now you'll see that little gauge talks about 9 or 10%. So I'm going to go ahead and let this update and bring you back. All right, so the firmware has been updated. It does say update success. We're going to hit confirm. We'll see what this thing does. Just takes us back to the sound mode. I like the spatteral mode, so we'll just hit OK on that. But let's go back to the little gear icon because that's where we found the different updates. Again, what it seemed like it did because of the firmware update, it defaulted everything back to off. I want the low latency, the wear detection. Again, the LDAC, that is specifically for Android. Touch control, let's take a look at that. That looks actually kind of cool. Let me bring that phone a little bit closer to you guys. Let's see here. Okay, so it's asking me on the left side, what do I want the features to do every time I click on the left side? So if I click, I now have, okay, on my left side, do I want it to play and pause, previous song, next song, switch the modes, activate Siri, the volume up, volume down, normal mode, or no effect. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the left side. I want it to play pause. If I double click, it'll go to the previous song. The triple click is the normal mode. What I want to do is I want the double click to go ahead and go to the next song, okay? Because sometimes when I'm streaming, I don't like that song, I'll just double click and I want it to go to the next song. Triple click mode. Now if I triple click it on the left side, what do I want it to do? I'm going to hit no effect because I don't intend to do triple click on the left side, okay? The long press is if I want to lower the volume, okay? Or I can increase the volume. I can do different things again, but I'm going to hit cancel on this one. And we're going to go ahead and now hit right. Should you mess up, you can hit this little button right here at the bottom. It restores everything back to the default, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and change the right side. Right side, click, I want to play it. Double click, I like to do the next song. Triple click on this one, we're going to go ahead and activate Siri. But I am going to go back to double click. I just want to see what options we do have. Now we'll hit cancel. And then the long press is the volume raising up. Okay, we're done with those settings. Hit the little left arrow here. Now we're back to here. It says add new product. That's if you have another device. Check this one out. We're going to go ahead and hit the OTA update. We know that we just did that. It does say, and it confirmed, I am using the latest firmware version. This I love because the Apple AirPods doesn't do this. I mean, this is cool. I like to know that I have the current update. Okay, now, what is function sorting? I have no idea. Let's take a look here. Okay, drag the button to the right of the list in the order of the function, and that just gives me the different functions here. Whether I want to do the ear tune, which is the hearing test, activate noise cancellation, the EQ, or my sound mode. Okay, next, it says water drainage for earbuds. What is that? Let's take a look at that. All right, it says click to start drainage. So I'm assuming that if you swim with these, maybe? Or if they get wet, you know, people unfortunately drop them in the sink and toilets and so on. So I'm assuming that if these do get water in them, they have a feature to go ahead and clear it out. Now, it says click start drainage to activate the drainage function. The entire process lasts for 30 seconds. Now, I don't need to do this, but I just want to read this to you. After drainage is complete, please wipe the earbuds dry and let them air dry naturally to avoid moisture retention. Do not frequently activate the drainage function to prevent unnecessary damage to the earbud. Now, I think that warning should be bold, red, or something, because it tells you do not overdo this, because whatever it's doing to the earbuds, it's doing something to them. Maybe it's vibrating them. I don't know. Maybe it's warming them up. But I am not going to go ahead and hit the start draining because my AirPods or earbuds are not wet. We're going to hit the left arrow here, but that's a cool function. I'm not sure that the Apple AirPods actually have that, but I like that because, again, if it gets wet or if you're wearing them in the shower, you forget to take them out because there are people that will wear their earbuds all day long and they forget about them. I've heard of people even falling asleep with them, okay? Now, we're going to go volume balance. It allows me to put more onto the left or the right. Sometimes people will have a hearing loss in one ear versus the other, so they want to increase the gain on one side, okay? In this case, we're leaving that alone. Now, find my earbuds. Let's take a look at that. It says, find my earbuds. When you tap the ring, your earbuds will start beeping. To protect your hearing, do not use this function while wearing them. Okay, do not do that. But let's take a look. Let's see. Ring. It says, warning. To protect, please confirm that you're not wearing the earbuds. I like that option because it is giving you a second warning that this will be loud and could potentially damage your hearing. So we'll hit got it. All right, let's see what's happening. And if you listen closely, you might be able to hear it. Now, it is not the charging case doing that. It's the actual earbuds. Let's see. I'll bring it to my microphone. Okay, you might have heard that. Let's do the other one. They both start to ring, okay? Now, me wearing hearing aids, I wish that was a louder sound, but it's better enough. Get someone that has good hearing to help you find your earbuds, okay? So let's go ahead and stop. Now I'm back to normal mode. Hit the left arrow. There we go. Go back to the main screen here. Hit the left arrow again, and we are back here. Now, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, I talked about home. It says AI. Let's take a look at it. AI. And it talks about your headphones support AI features. Quickly learn more. Go through the different settings on that. All right. It talks about, check this out. Speak to translate. Translate each other's speech with interactive face-to-face with others. This is a feature that the AirPods Pro 4 has, okay? It's kind of cool. Talked about simultaneous interpretation, so like interpreters, okay? That will allow you to translate the speech content on one-sided speaking occasions such as training and lectures. You got the AI chat. Again, different settings here, okay? Go through that. You can kind of look at that a little bit later. Here's the community feature. This is the community option I showed you a little bit ago where you have the community making recommendations based upon what they found. Something, again, to look at. You want to look at products. This is other items available by the manufacturer. And you hit My TOZO, and it tells you about your specific earbuds. Well, there you go, guys. That is the basic setup of this headset. I'm going to go ahead and use them for about a week or so, and I'll let you know my final thoughts. All right, guys, so what's my take on those earbuds? You know what, they're actually pretty good. For under $100, they give Apple a run for the money. Almost identical features compared to the Apple AirPod 4. It does have voice translation, I like that. It also had where you can record your conversations, like in office meetings and so on. The quality, it sounds like a speakerphone, but I'm sure the closer you get to it, the better. My wife and I had a conversation. She was probably the distance from me to the camera, which is a good 6 feet away, and you can clearly hear her in the conversation. But with the TV in the background, it was there, but it was really hard to understand what the TV was saying. It also tried its best to do closed caption or dictation of that conversation. I really like that feature. The sound, a spatial sound, phenomenal. One of the things, or a couple of things that the manual didn't really mention is one, the charging case, you can either plug it in or it's wireless charging. I found that out by accident. That's awesome. That's a good feature to know. One thing I didn't like, and I'm not sure if that's just related to this headphones or if it's a feature for Apple, but I like it that when I put my earbuds in my ear, I get an acknowledgement that it turns on. These headphones did not do that, so that's maybe something they could do with the firmware, because when I plugged it in, it did give me the option to download the latest firmware. Now, going with the download, really important, the manual didn't mention it as well, is download the TOZO app from the App Store. I'll make sure I give you the link in my description. That will definitely help you out a lot. You've got to go through the settings. You've got to do the ear test, because the headphones, the app, builds your experience based upon your own hearing results. That is awesome. So again, for under $100, I would pick up a pair for backup. Like I said, I have my AirPods. I love them. But the TOZOs will give Apple a run for their money. Well, thanks for watching Crazy Dave's Kitchen. I'll see you next time.